Okay, so first of all, thank you to Dave for putting this on, and to Redwood for having us, and thank you all for coming. I wanted to start by saying that when I first got asked to do this, I was a little bit, it didn't really resonate with me. I was a little bit uneasy with the idea of doing a share my story, because I didn't want it to be about me. And I thought what I've learned through my journey is that without you guys, without the public, without my volunteers, without my directors, some of which are in this room, we'd be a very different company, and we would have intercepted 25 tonnes of food and wasted 25 tonnes of food. So it's really important that the community are there to support us, and it's not about me. So I didn't want this to be, my life story, because without you guys this wouldn't have been possible, and I think that's really important. So, a little bit about me. I went to Dartington College of Arts in Totnes, got a fine arts degree. I've been a chef for most of my life. I cooked for the Queen at one point. The food was crap. And I've worked in all kinds of dead-end jobs. I've worked in customer care. I've knocked on people's doors and asked them for money, for charity, not just for me. I have, done all kinds of horrible dead-end jobs. And until about a year and a half ago, I didn't really know what I was doing with my life. And then one day, I got a Facebook message from my best mate, Truan, and he sent me this video of a guy called Adam Smith, who was driving around in his van, picking up food waste from supermarkets, from shops, from restaurants, and serving it in a cafe to the community on a pay-as-you-fill basis. So he was turning food that should be in the bin and turning it into healthy meals and feeding people with it. And I saw this video. I was going to show it to you, but I've actually got another video that I want to show you at some point. And it completely blew me away, and it resonated with me on such a deep level that I knew it was something that I wanted to be involved with, but that didn't even come onto my radar. At first I just wanted to say to the guy, well done, like, this is incredible. So I sent him an email, not even expecting to get a response, and he got back to me and said, well, why don't you set one up in Brighton and I'll support you. And I got that ball rolling. So I was a security guard for Brighton and Hove Albion at one point, this guy. And I was trying to keep my job and start up a company, and I just burnt out. It was really difficult, and I quit my job and started doing the Real Junk Food Project. Best decision I ever made, because I'm broke as a joke, but I'm happy and I love doing what I'm doing, which I think is actually really important. So, like I said, we go to supermarkets, we go to restaurants, farmers, and we take food that's surplus to requirements and we serve it. And for those of you who haven't been to One Church, or any of our other cafes, the community vibe there is just incredible. It brings people together. No one's on their phones, everyone's chatting and interacting, which I don't really see very much anymore. And that's the biggest buzz that I get on a cafe day, is just seeing everyone having a laugh and eating really good food. Community spirit, I don't think it's not rife enough nowadays, so I'm really kind of proud to be a part of that. Adam Smith was my inspiration. Without him, I wouldn't be doing this, I wouldn't be sharing my story. So to give you an idea of what we do, let me show you, because very recently a company called Lambert Productions, we've had loads of people come in and do videos, and they've never quite grasped what we're doing or shown it very well, but these guys have absolutely smashed it, and it came in quite recently, which is very convenient. You guys, this is the premiere of this video. It's supposed to be for a school tomorrow. I'm doing a talk in a school for some GCSE students. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it, because it says a lot, and probably better than I could say it. So here we go. Yeah, thank you. So that was about 7 months ago. since then we've come a hell of a long way. I think at that point I said we'd fed about 2,000 people, 3,000 people. We've now intercepted about 25 tonnes of food. We fed just over 8,000 people, and as a global network, because there are cafes all across the country, there are cafes springing up all over the world, in Israel, in South Korea, in Nigeria, in all manner of places. The whole network now has intercepted 264 tonnes of food, has fed 102,000 people, and has raised £193,000 in pay-as-you-feel donations, which I think just is remarkable. I can't really fathom those figures myself, but I kind of understand the work that's gone into it. That, you know, just in Brighton, we now have a cafe at one church every Friday. We have a cafe up in Hollingdean, which the community now pretty much run themselves every Thursday. We work with different organisations like Just Life, Women's Refuges, homeless shelters, refugee shelters, and we're about to embark on an even bigger journey. About to start another cafe at St Luke's up at Sevendales in about a month, and that's going to run 3 days a week, with a few more in the pipeline. So the kind of network that I was dreaming about in that video is happening right now, which, is kind of, I'm constantly out of my depth. At first, the momentum that the whole project had was inspiring and it kept me going. Now the momentum is so great that I kind of feel like the goalposts are always shifting, and just when me and my team and the volunteers feel like we've got what's going on, all of a sudden it's a much bigger beast and we've got to start again. So I'm constantly learning, but I love it. I love being on the back foot. It's also an initiative that I'm starting this year that's again started up in Leeds called Fuel for Schools. And I mean, child poverty at the moment is almost 25%, 1 in 4 children are going to school hungry, which I think is just absolutely disgusting. And there's an initiative called Fuel for Schools where we basically go into schools, we engage children about food waste, and we give them just like simple staple foods like toast with jams or Marmites or something, which we've already seen up in Leeds that their attention spans are far greater, they learn, they're less disruptive, and we're engaging the next generation about the state of the problem, which I think is very important. I've also brought along quite a lot of chocolate, which I'm going to quickly fly through these pictures, because these are some of my highlights of my journey. This was the first ever interception that I got. This is like 22 boxes of food from a food bank, who are one of the biggest wasters of them all, believe it or not. This is all tinned food, dry goods, cereals, you name it, it's in this box. This is before we even had a cafe, and I put it up on Facebook and had mothers and their children and students coming to my house and taking it. And then I had the owner of the food bank, or the manager, call me up and ask me to take the picture down, which I declined, because it was, it's absurd. And we now get regularly huge donations of food from food banks, which is a bit crazy because they turn people away. I don't understand that. There we go. This is around about the time that video was shot. One of our first cafes. So this is a little before and after, which I quite like seeing. And we've had 330 people we fed in 3 hours. The queue went down the road. It's remarkable. This is one of my directors, Sarah. She helps us out with our interception. She's our lead interceptor. And this is her children's playroom, where she now has a refrigerator and lots of food that she goes through and weighs. She's an absolute gem. And likewise, I've got a fridge freezer in my bedroom and 2 fridges in my house, and the top floor is a storeroom for dry goods, and I think my housemates kind of hate it a little bit, but this is just standard day at one church, just weighing food. I think we had about half a tonne on that day. Lots of carrots. These were popping carrots, so some of them were rotten, so we had to go through them one by one, and it was a bit of a giveaway. The ones that hit you in the face were obviously not edible, so we composted them and ate the others. This is about 9 months ago now, 10 months ago. This is 3/4 of a tonne of chocolate from Divine Chocolate Company that is surplus to requirements. Either it's the end of a production line, so it's, Easter's been and gone. These are all Easter eggs, last year's Easter eggs, which I'm going to hand out in a minute. I have never seen so much chocolate, and this had to go in my front room. And yeah, it was quite a happy accident, I have to say. Coffee pods, I mean, now we're getting into not just the food, but the materials, the plastic, the metals, the recycling that we have to do, which just takes hours and hours. This is a crisp baby. That's just crisps. This is us going to a farm for Feed the 5,000, which we were very proud to be a part of. I know Vera's here. That was an incredible day. This is loads of food from Infinity. Lots of selfies with food, but it's just trying to give you the idea of the scale that we work to. Kellogg's cereal from an unknown, a donor who has to remain nameless. There's a rocket, and that's all rocket. It's all of the me, it's mad. Sweet potatoes, about 200 kilos. One of my proudest moments, me and my team went to Parliament and fed MPs waste food, supporting Kerry McCarthy's food waste bill. It's me and Kaza. I don't like public speaking, and I was absolutely shitting myself there, sat next to the CEO of a Fair Share, Kerry McCarthy and Caroline Lucas. We did canapes for 120 people, and we had to set it up there as well, which was a nightmare. It's me and Kaza. So I'm going to hand out all this food. The idea really was that you can share my story with other people. So on your walk home, if you're walking past a homeless person, give them some fruit, give them some chocolate, hand it to your housemates. Don't make me waste it. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.